of is any sort of tornado in the area will likely be rain wrapped. So we're going to continue to monitor that with all of these heavy downpours. We're also going to look for gusty winds even outside of where the tornado may be. So this tornado warning is pushed because it's radar indicated. Now we're also seeing some hail in some spots as well and have the possibility for that hail to continue. Now let's go ahead and take a look here at what we have going on with our velocity. Okay, we're not seeing a whole lot with that base velocity, but let's go ahead and take a look at our debris signature. Debris signature is showing we could, oh, well, the latest sweep just kind of took that away, but not a lot going on with the debris signature as well. Storm relative velocity. Not a ton with the storm relative velocity as well. My assumption is there might be some smaller couplet in there, meaning rotating winds that we might not be seeing from the radar, but my assumption there is that that's what has caused this tornado warning to go off. Let's take a look at some of our different products to see if we can't spot where most of the action is. Still not a whole lot even on our rotation tracker as we go within the tornado warning, but still, if you are in this area or know anyone in this area, you do want to continue to be in your tornado shelter at least until 9 o'clock or until this expires, if it expires early. We have a live look outside. This is the airport where you can see we have that heavy rainfall. The airport is looking southeast, lots of lightning and thunder. We're going to see gusty winds as well. I'm going to pull my map out here so you can see this is where we have the airport right here, and the airport camera is looking toward the southeast, toward where this storm is. So that's what we're looking at in this camera here, and we're mostly going to see heavy rainfall, lightning and thunder. If there is any sort of tornado signature, you won't be able to see it with the naked eye because it will be wrapped in a lot of heavy rain. So that's why you need things like these radars to try and see where all of the activity is here. And all of these stronger storms are certainly pushing their way through Metro Atlanta. As I speak, I can hear thunder outside of our Fox 5 studios. We can also hear the heavy downpours. It looks like our latest tornado warning has been moved just a tad. Now I'm going to look in to see some updates from the National Weather Service. All right. So we're looking more into Clayton County versus Henry County. This polygon goes into both counties. What we'll be looking for will be closer into the Clayton County area. So I think we had a little bit of a couplet there earlier. That in this latest radar sweep has weakened a bit, so we're not seeing a lot there. As we continue to monitor our reflectivity, this is where we are seeing heavy rainfall. Areas like this is going to be just west of Highway 42 here, north of Morrow High School. We're seeing some hail, probably pea-sized hail here. In these orange and red areas is where we're seeing the heaviest downpours. And then off to the east, as this storm continues to push its way east, just an area of lighter rain ahead of the heavier rainfall. So let's zoom out here a bit because we have a couple of alerts in place right now. We also have have a severe thunderstorm warning just southeast of this, and that severe thunderstorm warning is actually going to be closer to Peachtree City, where the National Weather Service is located. That's also where the radar is, so that's what this little circle is. This is what we call a cone of silence. It's an area that's too close to the radar to really get a good view. So around this, we have to look at other, I guess, indicators as we zoom in. So here, we're going to look for this severe thunderstorm warning. That'll be in place until 9 o'clock, roughly another 20 minutes from now. So that's going to continue to bring those heavy winds. But again, it's going to be the winds that are going to be the biggest issue as we move with these storms. And that's even if there's not a tornado. It doesn't have to be a tornado to be disastrous. Those straight line winds can be just as bad. So this is that line of storms that was in far northwestern Georgia earlier this afternoon, and that's slowly pushing its way eastward. Now the system isn't moving too quickly, which is how it's able to kind of maintain some of its energy. Now we're going to watch for some heavy downpours in metro Atlanta, but we also have that tornado warning here. Can we go to that camera from the airport again that's pointed towards the tornado warning? Thank you. So from that camera look, it's not within the polygon. It's coming from Hartsfield Jackson, but the camera there is pointed toward the southeast, which is toward where we do have this tornado warning. Now my assumption is going to be that this might not last too much longer, just because it's not very impressive for as far as rotation is concerned, and we can see that as we move to our storm relative velocity here. So because most of this is green or not colored at all, that's showing that any sort of rotation isn't that strong. If we were looking for stronger rotation, you'd see areas of green right side by side with areas of red. So the only red we're seeing on this map are just our freeways and highways. So not a lot of rotation, which makes me think that this might be able to be expired early, but all in all, you still want to be in your tornado shelters as long as this tornado warning is in place. Now I'm still looking through the National Weather Service chat just to see what they have in mind here. It looks like Clayton County 911 is reporting a tornado that just touched down in Morrow Lake City area. So if you're in that area, you really want to make sure that you're in that tornado shelter. That's going to be here where we have Morrow and Lake City. So right now we're looking at the storm relative velocity. We move over to base velocity. Not a ton going on here. Let's look at our reflectivity. This is going to be heavy rainfall and very strong winds, especially where we're seeing all of these red and orange colors. We're looking for the heaviest rainfall. You want to watch for some localized flooding possibilities. You also want to continue to watch for those gusty winds, maybe coming in around 60-70 miles per hour, and that's not even tornadic winds. That's just those straight line winds that are coming along with this line of storms. And then on top of that, some areas could be seeing some pea-sized hail, so you do want to watch for that. Now, as we continue to monitor our tornado warning area, again, I don't think there's a lot of rotation in this area. It looks like we got some new lightning strikes here on our radar, but you do still want to watch for those straight line winds. You want to watch for these heavy downpours and even some small hail. So we're going to continue to just go through our radar products just to make sure we're seeing different angles of the storm. Base velocity is a look at our winds. The winds aren't showing too much there. We're going to look at our storm relative velocity. And that's within the storm here, where if we were to have a stronger tornado, you would see a couple of red dots right next to a couple of the green dots, and that would indicate some rotation and spinning of the atmosphere. Now, we're not seeing that right now, but as the National Weather Service chat is mentioning, there may have already been a tornado that touched down between Lake City and Morrow. Right now, though, we're not looking for any real active tornadic activity, though we will continue to monitor it because we do have conditions ripe for some very strong to severe weather. Let's go ahead and look at our debris signature. The debris signature isn't showing a whole lot either. So what that would be showing would be we would have areas of different colors within the box that would show that debris is aloft and suspended in the air. The radar would catch that and it would be reflected on our debris detector. So we're not seeing a lot of that right now either. If that was happening, you'd see smaller areas of brighter colors like yellows, greens, blues, things like that. Since this is all roughly magenta, we're not seeing a whole lot as far as the debris is concerned. And we're just going to continue to monitor all of our different radar products. They all kind of help in different ways. The biggest things I'm going to continue to monitor are going to be the storm relative velocity here, as well as the reflectivity. That's going to be just your typical radar, and then that debris detector. None of these are looking super significant, but you do want to just keep in mind that, again, even if a tornado isn't touching down right in front of you, you still want to be aware of those straight line winds. And it looks like we have that live look outside again, where the skies are pretty gloomy there. We're going to continue to see those lightning strikes off in the distance. One just passed through, and we're going to continue to watch for just gusty winds, lots of lightning and thunder. This is showing in this small area. We have around 16, 17 lightning strikes. So we're just going to continue to monitor that there. And I'm also just going to continue to monitor where we have these different looks. So I'm just going to pull my radar a little bit closer so that we can keep an eye on what's happening here. Again, this tornado warning still in place for another 15 minutes. It's not looking too impressive, but still something we're going to keep an eye out for.
Hey there, Lauren. And while you're doing that, I know you're busy monitoring. Just wanted to give people an update as they are watching. Lauren Robinson monitoring tornado warnings there in Clayton and Henry County. Of course, we have crews fanned out as well. If you are looking for the Braves game, this is just a reminder that they are on a delay because of the weather. I think we also have a live look at Truist Park in the control room, if we might be able to pull that up at some point there. As well. This is a live look at that Brave Stadium. We don't see anyone in the stands there, and some of our reporters that are there, our sports reporter Georgia Chambers says that they are in a safe place as well. And again, they are on a rain delay. This again, live look in Cobb County, Lauren.
All right, thank you for that input, Eric. Yeah, we're going to continue to just watch for this tornado warning. It looks like they might be allowing it to expire within the next 15 minutes. While this storm is looking very strong, I don't want to downplay how strong this storm is. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot of rotation for a tornado, but still a very strong storm nonetheless. And I always say you want to make sure that you stay in your tornado shelter as long as there's a tornado warning in your area. This is remaining in place at least until 9 o'clock. So you want to make sure you're in that tornado shelter. If you know anyone in these areas, that's going to be Henry and Clayton counties. That's going to be near Stockbridge all the way through Lake City and Murrow here. If you know anyone in these areas, or if you're in this area, you want to make sure that you're staying in contact and that you're in that tornado shelter. Again, a tornado shelter is going to be on your lowest floor in your innermost room. You want to be in your basement if you have one. If you don't have a basement, you do want to try and be on that first floor in an innermost room. You don't want to be near any windows or exterior doors or things like that. And you always want to make sure you have some sort of communication device with you. So if you are in that tornado shelter, have your cell phone with you, or maybe even a weather radio if you're someone who has one of those, just so you can know the status, you can know locations, you can keep loved ones updated with your safety. Now, it looks like that tornado watch just expired about 15 minutes early because it was weakening a bit there and it did lack rotation. Now let's go ahead and zoom in before, we have a different one. Okay. So now we have a new tornado warning. This is going to be for Spalding County between Griffin, Woosley. We're looking at areas like Rio, the Meadows, Brooks, Cambridge Estates. This is all going to be just southeast of Peachtree City, southeast of Fayetteville here, south of Hampton, south of Lovejoy. So again, we're going to continue to monitor these different products because they all help in different ways. This one is set to stay in place until 9:15, which is going to be in about 30 minutes or so. But let's look at some of these other products. Let's look at storm relative velocity. Oh, we have a couple of these areas here. Yeah. Okay, this one is looking a bit stronger. So I'll walk you through what each of these products is. Now it looks like a lot of this rotation, similar to what we saw with our tornado warning maybe about an hour or so ago. A lot of this rotation is out ahead of the storm, which is good news. It makes it easier to spot, but you want to make sure that you are in this safe space. Again, your tornado shelter, anyone who is in these areas, this is going to be Woolsey, this is going to be Brooks through Griffin, south of Hampton, north of Williamson here. Anyone in these areas, make sure you're in your tornado shelter, your safe place. But let's zoom in. So with the last tornado warning, I was talking about how it lacked any sort of spin or base storm relative velocity. So this is a good example of a couple of different areas. When I was speaking about the red right next to the green, that indicates spin in the atmosphere. So we're seeing one area here, and then we have another area here. This is going to be just south of Fayetteville Road, and then we have one southeast of Pomona. So we're going to continue to watch both of these, but these are out ahead of where we're seeing the strongest weather. So let's go ahead and take a look at our debris detector. Let's see. And I'm just kind of getting a feel for where the debris is versus the winds. So as we zoom out here, we are seeing these different colors, and these brighter colors, these blues, greens, even some yellows. That's where we want to continue to look for any sort of debris aloft. That's what the debris detector is looking for. It's looking for items that have been suspended in the air. The radar catches it in the air and knows that it's not air or water, it's something other, and that's what we consider a debris detector. We have another live look outside. This is Atlanta Motor Speedway, and that rain is falling pretty heavily there. It's within the tornado warned area, so we're going to keep an eye out on that camera actually, since it's within our polygon here. Now with it, we're probably seeing some pea-sized hail. I hope all of these people in this area here are seeking shelter. Looks like we have some people out on the roadways here that are starting to leave the area. But yeah, we have heavy rainfall. We're also just going to continue to watch for these very damaging winds, even where there's not a tornado. I can't stress that enough. Winds on their own are very strong. A tornado just means that it's spinning, but you can have very strong straight line winds. And right now with these storms, we're expecting them to come in around 60, 70 miles per hour. That can down some tree limbs and power lines, fall on homes, cars, things like that. So that's what we really want to be wary of, and that's why anyone in this area should be in their tornado shelter so that you're safe from anything falling on your home. Now we have these tornado warnings. This one is in place until 9:15. Again, I'm going to keep looking at all of our different products here. So it continues to look like our latest models, we have maybe one area south of, looks like we have maybe a couple of areas. This one south of Pomona, and then we have one just north of McIntosh Road. These are areas where we could be seeing some rotation, so we want to continue to monitor that. Whenever there's a tornado warning, my favorite product to use is the storm relative velocity, because it helps show that spin and where it is, whereas our usual radar, that reflectivity radar, doesn't always show spin. There are other ways that we look for tornadoes here. This is where we would typically look for maybe a comma-like echo. But since a lot of this looks to be ahead of the storm, that's not going to be very helpful. Now let me log in here again. Okay, so this is Fayette County, Spalding County. So this, it's looking like from the National Weather Service, this tornado warning may be able to expire ahead of schedule, as well as latest radar scans are just showing any sort of spin weakening. That rain that's coming in is kind of helping diminish some of the spin. So where we're seeing the heaviest rain, that's where we're looking for more straight line winds, and then out ahead of it we were looking for some of those spin ups. But we're going to continue to monitor, even once this tornado warning expires, we're going to continue to monitor these heavy downpours, because we want to watch for localized flooding. We also want to watch for those gusty winds and even some pea-sized hail. Let's go ahead and take another look out at the speedway so we can see what's going on in that area. Yeah, it's coming down pretty well. Lots of heavy rainfall. I don't think we're really seeing a lot of hail in this area. We have some hail on our radar indicator behind Brooks, which is outside of the polygon here, but within the tornado warning polygon, we're not really looking at much hail. But this live look outside is within the polygon, so this is a good view of what's happening within this tornado warning area. And again, you do still want to be in those shelters until that tornado warning has expired. Now, I will say it's probably going to expire ahead of 9:15, but until that happens, you do want to make sure that you're in your tornado shelter, because these tornado warnings pop up because they're radar indicated. Something on the radar has popped up an alert that, hey, we think there might be a tornado here in these areas. So this is where we're looking for the strongest weather coming in from Fayette County to push its way into Spalding County, but it is weakening as it moves its way eastward. And really, that's going to be true for the entire line of storms. We do have some hot spots within them that have popped up a couple of tornado warnings. It looks like this one was just allowed to expire, but as the system continues to move eastward, some areas of it will weaken, and other areas we're going to continue to watch for maybe some pop-up rotation, another radar indicated tornado warning. So we're going to continue to monitor here. We have this long line of storms with some heavy downpours. We also have some hail, gusty winds. We're going to continue to watch for that. All of this area in yellow, this is a severe thunderstorm watch, which does include Metro Atlanta and some counties off to the west, east and south. So we're going to continue to watch for the strongest weather where we see these yellow boxes, these yellow counties, and then the storm really isn't going to really diminish too much until it starts to push its way into South Carolina. So right now I'll let you get back to the game, and we will be back if another tornado warning pops up or if any more severe weather is located in the area.